Hello, hello, hello. Today is day 35 of reading the Bible in a year, and it's Sunday again. So, yeah. Well, today I had orchestra rehearsal for the Birmingham Gay Orchestra in the UK, and we've got a concert coming up on the 7th of December. So, literally, in 2 months' time. Yeah, so I'll leave the information in the description of the rest of my videos going until the day of my concert. Until the day before my concert. So that if anyone wants to go and see loads of people playing Christmas music, then come along. And we've sold about 20-ish tickets so far. We need to sell 200 tickets to sell out, and we need to sell out of this concert because the orchestra is running on a loss because of the venue being so expensive. So, information about the concert sorted, and I'm reading my second reading in Leviticus today, and it's all about the different offerings. Yay! The sin offering. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, If a person sins unintentionally against any of the commandments of the Lord in anything which ought not to be done, and does any of them, if the anointed priest sins, bringing guilt on the people, let him offer to the Lord for his sin, which he has sinned, a young bull without blemish as a sin offering. He shall bring the bull to the door of the tabernacle of the meeting before the Lord, and lay his hands on the bull's head, and kill the bull before the Lord. And then the anointed priest shall take some of the bull's blood, and bring it to the tabernacle of meeting, and sprinkle the blood seven times before the Lord, in front of the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest should put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of meeting, and he shall pour the remaining blood of the bull at the base of the altar of the burnt offering. That must be a lot of blood, which is at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. He shall take from it all the fat of the bull of the sin offering, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, by the flanks, and the fatty lobe attached to the liver above the kidneys he shall remove, as it was taken from the bull of the sacrifice of the peace offering, and the priest shall burn them on the altar of the burnt offering. And the bull's hide and all its flesh, with its head and legs and entrails and offal, the whole bull he shall carry outside the camp to a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire, where the ashes are poured out, and it shall be burnt. Now, if the whole congregation of Israel sins unintentionally, very specific word, unintentionally, and the thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done something against any of the commandments of the Lord, in anything which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin which they have committed becomes known, then the assembly shall offer a young bull for the sin, and bring it before the tabernacle of meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before the Lord. Then the bull shall be killed before the Lord. The anointed priest shall bring some of the bull's blood to the tabernacle meeting, Then the priest shall dip his finger and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil. And he shall put some of the blood on the horns and pour the remaining blood at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle meeting. He shall take all the fat and burn it on the altar, and he shall do with the bull as he did with the bull as a sin offering. Thus he shall do with it. So the priest shall make atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. Then he shall carry the bull outside the camp and burn it as he had burnt the first bull. It is a sin offering for the assembly. It sounds like they're going to have to go through loads of animals to get all the sins covered. When a ruler has sinned and done something unintentionally against any of the commandments of the Lord his God in anything which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin which he has committed comes to his knowledge, he shall bring as his offering a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. Why the bull for the others and a young male goat for the ruler? And he shall lay his hand on the head of the goat and kill it at the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord. It is the sin offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, put it on the horns of the burnt offering, and pour its blood on the base of the altar of the burnt offering. And he shall burn all its fat on the altar, like the fat offering of the peace offering. So the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. If anyone of the common people sins unintentionally by doing something against any of the commandments of the Lord in anything which ought not to be done, and is guilty, or if his sin which he has committed comes to his knowledge, then he shall bring as his offering a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he has committed. Oh, so a priest has a bull. The assembly, like the whole of the people, that it has to be a bull, then a king, a male goat, and the common people a female goat. Interesting. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering and kill the sin offering at the place of the burnt offering. Then the priest shall take some of its blood with his finger and put it on the horns, and pour the remaining blood at the base of the altar. He shall remove all its fat, as fat is removed from the sacrifice of the peace offering, and the priest shall burn it on the altar for a sweet aroma to the Lord. So the priest shall make atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. If he brings a lamb as his sin offering, he shall bring a female without blemish. Then he shall lay his hand on the head and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering, do the blood thing, and remove the fat. So the priest shall make atonement for his sin that he has committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Yay. The trespass offering. If a person sins in hearing the utterance of an oath, and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of the matter, if he does not tell it, he bears guilt. Or if a person touches any unclean thing, whether it is the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of an unclean livestock, or the carcass of an unclean creeping things, and he is unaware of it, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touches human uncleanness, whatever uncleanness with which a man may be defiled, and he is unaware of it, when he realizes it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a person swears speaking thoughtlessly with his lips, or to do evil or to do good, whatever it is a man may pronounce by an oath, and he is unaware of it, when he realizes it, then he shall be guilty of any of these matters. And it shall be when he is guilty of in any of these matters that he shall confess that he has sinned in that thing, and he shall bring his trespass offering to the Lord for his sin which he has committed. A female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats as a sin offering. So the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin. If he is not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, and so killing, blood thing, and the sin which he has committed, it shall be forgiven him. But if he is not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who sinned shall bring for his offering 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He shall put no oil in it, nor shall he put frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. Then he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful as a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar according to the offerings made by fire to the Lord. It is a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for him for his sin that he has committed in any of these matters, and it shall be forgiven him. The rest shall be the priest's as a grain offering. So it's not all. So it appears that it's not just about killing animals and using the blood and the fat as an offering. Okay. Right. Offerings with restitution. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, if a person commits a trespass and sins unintentionally in regard to the holy things of the Lord, then he shall bring to the Lord as his trespass offering a ram without blemish from the flocks, with your valuation in shekels of silver according to the shekel of the sanctuary, as a trespass offering, and he shall make restitution for the harm that he has done in regard to the holy thing, and shall add 1/5 of it and give it to the priest. So the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and it shall be forgiven him. If a person sins and commits any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Lord, though he does not know it, yet he is guilty and shall bear his iniquity. And he shall bring it to the priest, a ram without blemish from the flock, with your valuation as a trespass offering. So the priest I've just read this, shall make atonement for him regarding his ignorance, in which he erred and did not know it, and he shall be forgiven him. It is a trespass offering. He has certainly trespassed against the Lord. Chapter 6. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, if a person sins and commits a trespass against the Lord by lying to his neighbour about what was delivered to him for safekeeping, or about a pledge, or about a robbery, or if he has extorted from his neighbour, or if he has found what was lost and lies concerning it, and swears falsely in any of these things that a man may do in which he sins, then it shall be, because he had sinned and is guilty, he shall restore what he has stolen, or the thing which he has extorted, or what was delivered to him for safekeeping, or the lost thing which he had found, or all that about which he had sworn falsely. He shall restore its full value, add 1/5 more to it, and give it to whomever it belongs, on the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring trespass offering to the Lord, a ram without blemish from the flock, with your valuation as trespass offering to the priest. So the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord, and he shall be forgiven for any of these things that he may have done in which he trespasses. trespasses could be lying, because in the New Testament it says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, in the daily prayer, which is about sins and lies and other things. So, yeah. I've got a bit more to read. A fair amount more to read. The law of the burnt offering. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command Aaron and his sons, saying, this is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen trousers he shall put on his body, and take up the ashes of the burnt offering which the fire had consumed on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. Then he shall take off his garments and put on the other garments, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a clean place, and the fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it. It shall not be put out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order on it. And he shall burn on it the fat of the peace offerings. A fire shall always be burning on the altar, it shall never go out. Apart from when they're moving to another place. The law of the grain offering. This is the law of the grain offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it on the altar before the Lord. He shall take from it his handful of the fine flour of the grain offering, with its oil and all the frankincense which is on the grain offering, and shall burn it on the altar for a sweet aroma as a memorial to the Lord. And the remainder of it Aaron and his sons shall eat, the remainder of it. With unleavened bread it shall be eaten in a holy place. In the court of the tabernacle of meeting they shall eat it. It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it as their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most holy. Like the sin offering and the trespass offering, all the males among the children of Aaron may eat it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offerings made by fire to the Lord. Everyone who touches them must be holy. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, this is the offering of Aaron and his sons, which they shall offer to the Lord, beginning on the day when he is anointed, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a daily grain offering, half of it in the morning and half of it at night. It shall be made in a pan with oil. When it is mixed, you shall bring it in. The baked pieces of the grain offering you shall offer for a sweet aroma to the Lord. The priest from among his sons who is anointed in his place shall offer it. It is a statute forever to the Lord. It shall be wholly burnt. For every grain offering for the priest shall be wholly burnt. It shall not be eaten. The law of the sin offering. Also the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is the law of the sin offering. The sin offering. And the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, the sin offering shall be killed before the Lord. It is most holy. The priest who offers it for a sin shall eat it. In a holy place it shall be eaten. In the court of the tabernacle of meeting, everyone who touches its flesh must be holy. And when its blood is sprinkled on any garment, you shall wash that on which it is sprinkled in a holy place. When the earthen vessel in which it is boiled shall be broken, but the earthen vessel which it is boiled shall be broken. If it is boiled in a bronze pot, it shall be both scoured and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests may eat it. It is most holy. But no sin offering from which any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of meeting to make atonement for in the holy place shall be eaten. It shall be burnt in the fire. The law of the trespass offering. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering, they shall kill the trespass offering, and its blood shall be sprinkled all around on the altar. And he shall offer from it all its fat tail, and fat that covers the entrails, the two kidneys, the liver he shall remove. And the priest shall burn them on the altar as an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a trespass offering. Every male among the priests may eat it. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. The trespass offering is like the sin offering. There is one law for them both. The priest who makes atonement with it shall have it, and the priest who offers anyone's burnt offering, that priest shall have for himself the skin of the burnt offering which he has offered. Every grain offering that is baked in the oven and that is prepared in the covered pan or in a pan shall be the priest's who offers it. Every grain offering, whether mixed or dry or either mixed with oil or dry, shall belong to all the sons of Aaron, to one as much as the other. The law of the peace offerings. I've got a bit more to read. This is the law of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which he shall offer to the Lord. If he offers it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mixed with oil, unleavened wafers anointed with oil, or cakes of blended flour mixed with oil. Besides the cakes, as his offering, he shall offer leavened bread with the sacrifices of thanksgiving of his peace offering. Leavened. And from it he shall offer one cake from each offering as a heave offering to the Lord. It shall belong to the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offering. The flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering is a vow or a voluntary offering, it shall be eaten the same day that he offers this sacrifice. But on the next day the remainder of it may also be eaten. Remainder. I forget to read the A in it. The remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day must be burnt with fire, and if any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering is eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, nor shall it be imputed to him. It shall be an abomination to him who offers it. The person who eats it shall bear guilt. The flesh that touches any unclean things shall not be eaten. It shall be burnt with fire, and as for the clean flesh, all who are clean may eat of it. But the person who eats the flesh of the sacrifice of the peace offering that belongs to the Lord, while he is unclean, that person shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, that person who touches any unclean things, such as human uncleanliness, an unclean animal, or any abominable unclean thing, and who eats the flesh of the sacrifice of the peace offering that belongs to the Lord, that person shall be cut off from his people. Fat and blood may not be eaten. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, You shall not eat any fat of ox, sheep, or goat. And the fat of an animal that dies naturally, the fat that is torn by wild beasts, may be used in any other way, but you shall by no means eat it. For whoever eats the fat of an animal, of which men offer as an offering made by fire to the Lord, the person who eats it shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, you shall not eat any blood in any of your dwellings, whether of bird or beast. Whomever eats any blood, that person shall be cut off from his people. That's one of the reasons why me and my family will never have black pudding, because it's made with blood. I've got a bit more to read. A little bit more. The portion of Aaron and his sons. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, He who offers the sacrifice of his peace offering to the Lord shall bring his offering to the Lord from the sacrifice of his peace offering. His own hands shall bring the offerings made by fire to the Lord. The fat with the breast he shall bring, that the breast may be waved as a wave offering before the Lord. And the priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron's and his sons'. Also the right thigh that you shall give to the priest as a heave offering from the sacrifices of your peace offerings. He among the sons of Aaron, who offers the blood of the peace offering and the fat, shall have the right thigh for his part. For the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the heave offering I have taken from the children of Israel, from the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and I have given them to Aaron the priest and his sons from the children of Israel as a statute forever. These sentences are really long. This is the consecrated portion for Aaron and his sons from the offerings made by fire to the Lord, on the day when Moses presented them to minister to the Lord as priests. The Lord commanded this to be given to them by the children of Israel on the day that he anointed them, by a statute forever through their generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the trespass offering, the consecrations, and the sacrifice of the peace offering, which the Lord commanded Moses on Mount Sinai on the day that when he commanded the children of Israel to offer their offerings to the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. So they're still in Sinai. Oh my word. When are they going to progress into Canaan? Anyway, that was 4 chapters of reading. My eyes hurt, so I'll have to take a little break so I can read the next bit, although Hebrews 3 is not that long. So I'll do that in the next video.